What's going on, everybody? What's good? What's good? Hope y'all having a wonderful Thursday. It's nice to be here again. I hope y'all doing all right. Man, I almost missed the stream. Almost missed the stream, the broadcast this evening. Watching Dolomite. No, not Dolomite, but the hell is the name of it? The old exploitation movie, Superfly. That's what it was. I was almost late here watching Superfly. I've never watched one of them show or movies all the way through 100% from the beginning to the end. And man, I know why now. I know why. I'm gonna try to finish it, y'all. But man, them black exploitation movies is something else, man. I don't know how they made it through them movies, boy. They are funny though. They are funny. Tonight, man. Tonight, tricks are for kids. Tricks are for kids. That's the theme of the night. You know how we do here in the den. I'm gonna go ahead and officially welcome everybody because you are now live in the den with Aaron EBM. Let's set the mood, y'all. Let's set the mood. Wait for some people to get up in here and we can get this thing started. Welcome. You are now live in the den. This is your host, Aaron EBM. We're doing all right. I'm doing all right. I hope y'all doing all right. We have yet to have a break in the heat. I hope y'all are surviving the heat. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. That is always my first concern. Making sure you guys take care of yourself. So today, tricks are for kids, man. And I told you, if you've seen the title of the video, if you've seen the title, you already know that it's a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff that's going on out here. I don't need this song yet. A lot of stuff that's going on out here. And y'all know how, you know what I do. You know, I just get in here and dive straight in. So it's talking about Superfly. It's talking about Superfly. The thing that almost made me miss getting in here on time. Man, black exploitation at its finest. Um, I don't see how y'all did it back in the 70s. Kudos to all of you for being able to put up with watching those exploitation movies. But man, I'm telling you, it's a part of history now. It's a part of history, and man, you might as well enjoy it, and you might as well get in there and get you some of it. So if you haven't watched any of those black exploitation movies, go ahead and carve you out some time to watch Superfly, Dolomite. Shaft is one of the other ones. All those good ones. I'm a movie buff, so that's what I do. I get in there and I watch some of these movies. I give them a chance, and try not to critique them so hard. So I find the good in it. And if you want a good laugh, make sure you go through and watch some of those movies. Get your laugh on this weekend. Try to do it this weekend, especially if it's Father's Day, man. Why do what you want to do? It's Father's Day coming up, and then for all the fathers that are out there doing y'all thing, not the ones out there being bums and the homosexuals. I'm talking about ones that are really doing what they need to do to take care of their children, whether you are a full-time parent, a part-time parent, or you in the standard household with your family. You deserve your congratulations. You deserve your kudos, because let the media tell it and let the media show it. A lot of us aren't good for anything but procreating, making the kids and leaving them. If you listen to the media, if you listen to the news and all these other women out here that are talking, let them, leave it up to them, and we'll all be displayed as some vile piece of human flesh that's not not worth anything. But I know different. The men that I see, the men that I know, the people that I watch, the people that I frequent here, even on YouTube, we all take care of our kids. If we have kids, we're all good fathers, and we're all out there being the role models that we need to be. So don't really pay attention to the hype. Don't listen to the hype. You know, listen to, go out and see for yourself. That's what I said on my last video. Get out there, get outside. Don't stay up here on the internet. Don't continue to get sucked into all this drama on the internet. Get out and really see what's going on for yourself. Get out there and really touch the pavement, put your boots on the ground, know what's going on out there, see it with your own eyes, and know that things aren't really as they appear or as they are told by the general public, the media, and all of that stuff together. So I appreciate the fathers, man. Appreciate the ones, take some time out for the tell the people in your family, the men in your family, that that you appreciate him, and appreciate them as men doing their thing and being the men that they are supposed to be. Because we are more than our wallets, even though that's what we are portrayed as we're nothing but wallets. And if we don't have the wallets, or we don't have the money or uh uh the monetary means as they would portray or want us to have, then we're nothing. That's how we're portrayed, and I'm telling you guys that that's not the truth. It's more than just money. You might not make six figures. You might make a high five. And does that make you any less of a man? Does that make you any less of a father, that you don't make what these people say it is successful? No, it's not. A lot of people are in better situations making five figures than a person making six figures, because if you're taking care of your money, if you're watching your money, you could be in a way better position than the person making six figures. So, it's about that grind. It's about that the way you handle yourself, the way you handle your monetary means. It's if you are a good steward, a good steward over your money. That really is the thing. You have to be a good steward over your money, whether you make 20,000, 30,000, or you're making 100,000. If you're not a good steward of your money, you're just not a good steward of your money. And it'll make no difference you making 200,000 than it would you making 70, 80,000. So make sure you guys are good stewards. Make sure you guys get into some channels, visit some channels that really teach you something. Into some channels that really have some meat, that have some substance, man. Get away from that. Get away from all of this junk, man. Get away from all of this drama, man, because it'll lead you nowhere. A lot of these people that's in this drama are miserable. They like to make you think like they're on top. Because if they got thousands of subscribers and followers, they like to make you think that they're on top of the world. But a lot of these people are miserable. A lot of these people don't want. A lot of these people go to bed at night wishing that they were doing something else, and sometimes they wish they were something else or was somebody else, because it's a very very lonely game to be up there in these positions that some of these people are in, making you think that they are just on top of the world, and that they have everything under control, or they have everything. A lot of these people will tell you, excuse me, that they don't they have everything, that they us as men are what they call it, poogies and ray rays, and then they turn around and get pregnant and get knocked up and trapped by the same the pookies and ray rays that they're declaring everybody else to be out here. So don't fall into the hype, man. Get outside, do something. Get outside, make use of yourself, whether you're doing investments, whether you're building on to something in your house, or you're learning a new trade, or you're learning a new skill. Get out there and actually do it, because in this modern world that we live in, the very thing that helps us identify as men, a lot of us no longer have. We don't know how to use our hands. We don't know how to fix things, to problem solve, to be able to go out and be really self-sufficient, not just being able to pay a bill, or be able to afford something financially, a repair, or anything like that. Um the skills are lost. They're being lost. They're not here, and we don't have them for the most part like we need to really have them. Think about it like this: the world, if you've been paying attention and not really being a sheep and being sleep, if you've been paying attention, things aren't getting any better out here. Regardless of what old Moneybag Joe is telling all of y'all, the world is not getting better. It is actually getting worse. Things are, the inflation is getting higher. Gas and food is continuing to rise, and people are continuing to make the same amount of money, even though companies and businesses can barely find the help that they need to survive, and they're not paying the people that they have more to make sure that their product and services are getting done. They're continuing to pay people the same amount of money. So inflation is happening, things are getting higher, people are getting paid the same amount of money, and people really aren't spending what they want and what they usually do on things. They're not spending the money to do that. They're not spending the money to have the luxury, or the luxuries that they would usually have. They're not really spending, and you see it everywhere. You can barely. You're talking about in California. They're talking about transformers. That goes on the top of electric utility poles. Talking about 36 months lead time for some of these things to get fixed. So they can't even put new transformers out. They are actually taking the old transformers, refurbing them, and putting them back up. And think about it. They're, like I said before, they're telling, them men over the last 30, 40 years are being the things that actually help define us as men, we no longer have. So it doesn't matter how much money you have. Let's look at it like this. If I have all the money I need to get the repairs done on my vehicle, what good is it if if they have hundreds of cars sitting at the repair shop, and they don't have the parts to fix them, or they don't have the labor to fix them? What is the you know what is the use of your money, or what not the use of your money? What good is your money if you can't get the service that you want with it? That's where it comes in for you to be a self-sufficient and know that I can go out there and maybe get the part, cheaper somewhere, and or use somewhere if I have to, and then be on the road again in 2 hours, instead of calling the dealership or calling a auto repair service, and they're backlogged 3, 4, 5 weeks, and you have to go to a job. So now you're stuck. Now you're stranded because you can't get on the road again, because you needed those brakes on your car. you needed this alternator on your car and you had to wait for somebody else to fix it, but they couldn't. So that's where it comes at be about being a man. That's where it comes at about being a problem solver. And I'm not saying everybody, you're not a man if you don't know how to do all of this stuff, but I'm telling y'all that you need to know these some of these skills, or know somebody that knows some of these skills. It's gonna get tough out here. You guys aren't real. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of what is going to be a lot harder and a lot worse. That's what I believe. That's my part of my tinfoil sermon today. I believe stuff is going to get a lot worse than what it is today. It's not going to get any better, and it's going to continue to get this way until this great economic shift that they're talking about having, or this great transition or transference of wealth happens. I really don't know. And it's not good. It's not really good for us to sit there and try to think about how long this stuff is going to last. When is it going to end? Because that doesn't matter. What matters is you could stay alive. What matters is that you can have provisions for you and your loved ones, your immediate loved ones in the house, and you can get the job done, and you can make the decisions that need to be made to continue to be here on this planet. That's why I have the garden. We started the garden at my house in the back. We need to, and we're not perfect at it, but if you continue to do things like that, you'll be able to feed yourself. You'll be able to take care of yourself. They make us feel like we're unable to be sufficient without them, without the government, and that's their role. That's the role of, especially of the left, to make you feel like you are in a position that you can't live without them holding your hand, without them helping you, and if you don't have them, you're going to perish. That's what their deal is. That's what their goal is. Even pay attention. Yes, they are the party of socialism, and I know socialism sounds like a bad word, but social programs, giving people things to help them stay afloat, or help them stay alive, or make them even, is a social program. And when they give you these social programs, they make you get dependent and relying on them, and then you're more able to turn over things like your rights to them, and able to, in order for you to continue to get those services from the government. That's what it comes down to. You have to even ask yourself this: if you are a Second Amendment supporter, what would you give up your guns to be able to feed your family? They've been having a hard time with gun laws and gun restrictions and everything like that, because they just can't get people to struggle enough to, or to get in a position that is bad enough for them to be able to just give up your rights to your guns freely. It's just not happening. It's one of the hardest things that the government has ever came up on, because you got people, no matter if they're left leaning or right leaning, they all have one thing in common: they want to protect themselves, they want to take care of themselves, and them giving up their protection isn't something that they're just going to do willingly. But you have to think about it like this: if you were really hungry, would you give up your weapons? Would you give up your weapons to the government if you were needing to feed your family? And if you're like me, if you're a family man, and knowing that the main thing in your life is to make sure that you take care of your family, and especially your seed that you bring into this world, it's like, you can think about it. It's nothing I wouldn't do for them. So if I had to, I would. But we don't want you to get to that spot. I don't want you to get to that spot. I want you to be as self-reliant as possible, self-sufficient as possible. I want you guys to know how to change the tires. I want you to know how to change brakes. I want you to know at least where these things are and how to do it, even if you're not doing it. I want you to know how to take some seeds out, go buy some vegetables from the store. You don't have to go to a farmer's market. You don't have to go to a special seed store when they have produce all over there that have seeds that you can use to yield you more fruit and vegetable. You guys, we have got so spoiled in the United States that we feel like we can't do any of that. Look at the breast milk situation with the not the breast milk, but the formula situation. We have had generations of women that have gone and gone and gone out or without breastfeeding, that it's almost like something that isn't natural anymore. And women, for the most part, don't want to do it. And I know that some women just can't not breastfeed. That's why they had wet nurses back in the day. Some women just can't do it. It's understood that they can't do it, but the majority can. And that's the thing. We got so many people that are coddled that they want to put themselves in the position of women that can't do something like breastfeeding, and make it seem like this is this broad thing that's happening, that all 90% of the women in the United States can breastfeed. But no, that's not it. 90% of the women can breastfeed, but 90% of the women feel like that's going to take away from their independence. That's going to take away from their work time. That's going to make the baby spoiled. It's going to hurt. It's going to do all of this other stuff. And not saying that you don't have the right to do, or you shouldn't have the right to choose. You should have the right to do everything. But just like that, just like anything else, when we get too much of anything, when you get too much of anything that makes our lives easier, we actually get spoiled. And that's what you're seeing now. You're seeing a lot of people getting spoiled. That's why I'm saying these things are tricks, tricks. That's what the name of the live stream tonight, the broadcast, is Tricks Are for Kids, because that's what it is. It should be a point to where we're not getting tricked by people, by the government, by these different anybody, by these different entities. But that's what it is. We're being tricked into to making ourselves feel like we're not good enough, making ourselves feel like we can't survive, making ourselves feel like we are less than capable of doing anything without some outside intervention. And this is not true. That's why I'm coming here to tell you. I didn't always know what I wanted to do here in YouTube. Part of me just wanted to do what everybody else wanted to do, right? Part of me just wanted to be up here, we're talking about these women, and sorry about that, talking about these women and what they're doing and what they're not doing, and how are they going to, the state, of the community. And part of me still does, you know what I'm saying? I cover what I need to cover sometimes. It's not something that I will stop doing, but you guys, there's got to be more. That's what I'm trying to say. That there has to be more, and there is more. I always care about the kids that are out here. I always care about the kids that are out here, and I always have cared about. I always had the heart for kids, because they didn't choose to be here on this planet. They didn't choose to be here on this planet. Yet I've seen now, as I get older, children being ruined and children being tainted in real time. So my heart goes out to them. I'm tired of seeing little kids and grown ass women's videos getting twerked on, and getting drugged around while women smoke Black and Miles and drink malt liquor. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it. And that part still bothers me. I can't do nothing about the grown up. They're gonna do what they want to do, and ain't nobody trying to stop them. I'm not trying to shame, and none of that stuff. Though I do get a good laugh out of some of the foolishness that happens in the community, and I will still show it. I will still highlight it, because that's part of my mission too. I still will expose a lot of this hyena madness. I can't not do it, because that's really a part of the problem right there in itself. You know what I'm saying? We've been raised by generations and generations of women, and we have been taught over and over again that we shouldn't be say anything. We shouldn't be allowed to say anything. We should just let women do whatever they want to do, and we just continue to work and give the resources, and continue to just make women's lives comfortable, make the queen's lives comfortable. We shouldn't say anything. We shouldn't have to say anything, and we should just sit there. But that's part of the responsibility as a man. That's part of the responsibility of as a man. And whoever hears this needs to understand that you know you need to stand up and say something. No, you don't. You don't have to whip them and beat them into submission and all of that stuff like that, because they're going to do what they want to do at the end of the day. But they need to know who you are as a man, and you're not going to shut up. Look, it's liberating. I was 34, 35 years old when I called my mom out for some of the stuff she did, as an adult. And yes, they are wrong. Sometimes the women are wrong. Sometimes your mother is wrong. Y'all need to understand that sometimes they are wrong, and they need to understand that they are wrong. Women that have, if you have children out there, when you're listening to this message, it's okay to tell your child that you are sorry, that you apologize for doing something that you did that was out of the way. What part of them makes you think that they're not human beings too, and they're not worthy of apologies? What makes you think that they don't feel when they are wronged? Just because they are children doesn't mean they don't feel when, or know when, something is done to them that just not right. So you guys got to understand that you have to treat them like human beings too. But this is stuff that was able to go and ride long and slide under the radar. And because the women in the community were propped up in such a position that made them seem like they were above the men in the community, they just slid down and bowed down. And that's why they're having such a hard time with these groups of men that just aren't having it anymore. They ain't gonna sit back and just let you say whatever you want to say without sitting there and getting this work. It's not. That day is done. That day is over with. That day is done. But you guys can gotta have to gonna have to be men. You want to be. I'm not saying that you got to save the community and be leaders of the community, because the counterparts aren't just being leaders of their community and all this stuff that these women are trying to put on our backs. They're not being leaders of their community, they're being leaders of their households. And because they have so many men that are defenders of that culture that they live in each household, it automatically spawns a strong community. They're not there saving their community, they're saving their households, which is making that strong community. And that's what I'm telling you guys you got to do. And going out and learning things, learning new skills, and using your hands, and knowing that, you know, if you don't have all of the money to hire somebody to do something, that you have the power in your hands to be able to make that happen. you know Half of everything that you get done, half of the projects, or half the builds, and anything you have to do labor wise, half of that money that you pay to somebody to fix something is labor. The other half is materials. So you can cut your bills in half, knowing that you can know how to lay a floor, know how to lay a wooden floor, know how to lay tile, know how to work with mortar, know how to know how to work a tractor, know how to work a backhoe. Even if you're not using it, you know how to do it. Know how to fence a home. That stuff is important. We've been conditioned to feel like all of that stuff is beneath us. Everybody go to school and get your PhDs in basket weaving, and then come back, and you'll never have to do that hard, strenuous labor again. But let me tell you a secret: all of our counterparts are out there going to these trade schools still. They're still going out there spending their money in wise places like that, learning these skills, because those are the skills that pay the bills. If the economy collapses and goes to a point that where we're not seeing before, knowing how to help build a home, knowing how to wire a home, knowing how to do the plumbing are still things that people are going to need and spend money on. It's called infrastructure. You know, Civil engineering. If you're going to go to school, make sure that you get in something like that, that is going to yield you some sort of money, some sort of guaranteed money. Welding. Like I said, you don't have to. It's not be. Don't feel like it's beneath you. That's something we need to shrug off and throw away, and really knock off that spirit of feeling like a job is beneath you. because you're never going to know what you have to do or going to have to do to take care of your family. And don't tell me what you're not going to do. Don't tell me what you're not going to eat. Don't tell me none of that stuff that you're not going to do, because when it hits the fan, you're going to do whatever it takes for you to take care of those people, and especially yourself. So think about that. Think about something that you want to take up. This is Father's Day. You should have the right and the time to pour into yourself, whatever skill it is. I like to see people pour into themselves, whether it's it could be starting at YouTube, learning the computer, learning how to use this different software. Spend the money on yourself, learn the skills, and put the skills to work. It doesn't make any sense to learn all this stuff. It doesn't make any sense to buy all these programs, buy all these electronic devices, buy all these sound equipment, and you're just going to sit there because you're afraid of what somebody's going to say to you. I'm not a perfect host. I'm just a year into this, but I'm in here pouring my thoughts out to you guys. I'm in here trying to make use of myself, to make, to steer somebody in the right direction. And somebody needs to hear this, no matter how rough around the edges it is or how polished it is. I know you guys, especially you day ones, are going to be able to come back and remember, like, hey, I rode this trip with Aaron EBM. I remember when he was rough around the edges, but man, look at him now. And I'm saying the same for you. You can do that. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want to do, but stop letting people make you feel like you're unable to, or make you feel like you're less than, make you feel like you are just not able to do these things. We're going to have to break that spirit of self-loathing. We're going to have to break that spirit. That's something that we're going to have to do. you know we can't build upon ourselves. We can't go to the next level in life. And I'm not talking about all this let's build an empire stuff. Y'all, if y'all leave that alone. If that's your heart's desire to build an empire, then that's your heart's desire to build that empire. And you do it. And you do it by any means, and you make that happen by setting goals. But everybody's desire is not starting an empire. Some people's life or some people's desires are just getting to the point to where I can live comfortably. I don't have to worry about bills anymore. I don't have to worry about if I have to pay my car payment, or I'm going to have to feed myself and my family. That's some people's goal. And some people's goal, then some people, and you can make that goal if you just push yourself, if you just get to the point to where you can just don't have to worry about that stuff, and you can just push through and do that. That's one of my issues with a lot of this stuff in the internet, man, because everybody's main goal is to get this woman. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's goal is to get this perfect woman. I went to school. I'm a tech engineer, and the women still want Pookie and Ray Ray. No, no, no. Y'all gonna have to leave these women alone. Be the best that you can be. Be you. Do you. Grow yourself, grow your brands. Don't worry about them women. Them women are gonna come later. And then when you feel like you are at where you're at, then you worry. Then you let those women come into your life, because you still can get got when you got all of this. When you got all of this stuff, you get all of this. You go to school, you get all this money, and then you're in the 1%, and then you still trick off to some lady, and then some girl you trick off, and then she marries you or whatever, and then she steals all, divorces you, take your money. Then what? You still end up getting tricked, and you're right back to square one, complaining on the internet. So think about yourself, guys. Single guys, think about yourselves. Married guys, don't get too comfortable, man. Don't get too comfortable knowing that you got a good lady at home, knowing that you got some decent kids at home, and ain't nobody going nowhere, man. No, man. Yeah, if y'all are married, man, ain't no excuse for having no dad bod. Regardless of what they say, man. I know they say, well, I like my man with a belly. No, they don't. They don't want you with no big old belly, man. And it's not, and you don't need to sit there and let yourself get so comfortable, man, that they got to get rolled out the bed and rolled down the stairs at night when you got to do something. Now, take care of yourself, man. Self-care is important. Make sure you get out, get some exercise in. 30 minutes a day is all it takes, man. Don't tell me you ain't got 30 minutes to either get on that bike, get on that treadmill, do like me, get out and run, for a couple miles takes me 20, not even 30 minutes. 2 miles takes me 22 minutes. That's 22 minutes. And you still got time to do some push-ups or whatever you got to do. Don't sit there and be lazy and get yourself into the position to where you have to work 10 times as hard to get yourself back into a normal shape. I ain't talking about Mr. Universe. I'm just talking about, man, if you want to take your kids out, if you want to wrestle with your kids, you ain't out of breath in 15 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do to take care of yourself. Live longer. Man. So that's the little entry. That's my little diatribe I just went on. I appreciate you guys being here. If you're new to the channel, this is Live in the Den with Aaron EBM. I think I'm gonna change the name of these podcast episodes to the Thought and Talk podcast. What y'all think about that? The Thought and Talk podcast with Aaron EBM. I think that got a ring to it. So no, so it's so much stuff going on, man. I just heard that who out there are wrestling fans? Who out there are wrestling fans? If you like the WWE, WCW, or I think it was WWF back in the WWF back in the day. I grew up a wrestling fan. I'm not so much a wrestling fan now, but I do try to come in from time to time to see what's going on and see what kind of new talent is in and around that arena, that space. And I just heard some crazy news. I heard that CEO and owner of the WWE, Vince McMahon, has got caught up in some kind of scandal. I heard he actually had an affair back in the day. I don't know how long it had to be within the last 20 years or so, 20, 30 years. And apparently he paid some kind of hush money for the girl to be quiet. And you know how it goes now, man. They take the hush money and then they end up spilling it all anyway. So apparently he's out there bad because he had this affair with this woman and they're saying his marriage is in jeopardy. Hey, man, McMahon, I hope he had some kind of prenup. But Linda McMahon been with this dude for a long time. Linda McMahon has been with him ever since I knew even what wrestling was. And you know she gonna come out of that with a bag if she gets divorced from Vince. Vince is the WWE, I think it's worth like 6 billion. She's gonna come out with some billions, man. She's not gonna leave with no less than $1 billion, man. You can wrap that up. You can wrap that up. And I was like, man, I can't believe that. I can't believe that he did it. I just can't believe that it happened like that. And I can almost tell. I can almost tell when that did happen. I can almost tell that was probably when Vince was on all those steroids. Y'all remember when Vince McMahon was on them steroids? Y'all, hold on. Let me. I'm gonna pull up a picture. I remember when Vince McMahon got into this. I remember when Vince McMahon got into this midlife crisis, and that dude was hitting them roids hard. That's the ones that kind of pulled up. Good. Now Vince right here. Vince had to be every bit. Vince had to be every bit of. Yeah, look at that. They say he was 74 right there. So Vince, back when he was hitting them roids hard, he was in his 60s hitting them roids. So I know he was feeling himself. And got with old girl and messed around with old girl, and he in the position that he in today. Vince was swole, man. But I'm telling you, man, them muscles get you in trouble. I don't even want no muscles, man. I don't want them muscles like that, man. I can be good like Jason Statham. I can have a good physique like Jason Statham. Put on a nice button-up shirt. Nobody ever be able to tell that got muscles underneath it. That's a cool physique to me. Jason Statham has a pretty cool physique. You never know how strong this dude is or what this dude can do until he start whooping your ass. That's kind of physique I want. I don't want no big old, gigantic guns or nothing like that. Where people look at me and like first thing they think about is, I got to shoot this guy because I ain't trying to get hit by this big old dude. I don't want all that. I don't want all that. But yeah, man, people People are crazy. Like I say, run up. You don't got to run up and shoot nobody. Especially that is a good segue into the next thing I see. If you guys have ever watched Justin Whitehead, man, this dude is funny, man. This dude is really funny. He does the reaction videos to the 600-pound life videos, and he does a lot of that stuff on Instagram. He does them live, but man, this dude actually, if you want to talk about somebody getting ran up on, this is something else because you guys, you know, I'm big on the Second Amendment. Watch this. We're gonna watch this.
I might be tripping because I'm high as a bitch, but I think I'm being followed. Like dead ass. Dog. I swear to God, this motherfucker really following me, dog. Bruh. Watch this. Watch this. Look. Now watch this. That motherfucker come on that aisle.
Watch him.
Bro, you straight? See, that's why I told y'all last I'm finna quit with these fucking TV shows. I ain't got time for this type of shit, dog. I'll come back with my shit like excuse me.
Yeah, whoever's still watching, appreciate you coming by. Appreciate you being by the den.
Oh my God.
Y'all see this, right?
Bro, you follow me? Yeah, oh, I hope so. Come right on over here to this goddamn car.
This man, look, he followed him right out to the car, y'all.
Thank
From the
God for
store
fucking live feed.
to the car.
Y'all a goddamn witness. I can't even go in there and pick up my fucking merchandise without a some bitch acting retarded. Dog. Bro, where you going? What's up, man? What you mean, what's up? I asked you in the fucking store, what's up? Why you following me? What's going on? Bro, what going on?
Do the videos and shit, bro.
What video? Yeah.
600 pounds and all this
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. What about them?
This shit offensive, bro.
To who?
To me and my community, to my folks, bro.
Man, bro, go on with that shit. Do you
No,
know that's a
shit,
fucking
man.
joke, bro? Don't walk up on me now.
It ain't no
Dead ass
fucking
serious.
joke, bro. Fuck that, bro. It ain't no joke, bro. What's funny about that shit? What if I see you like Oscar Proud?
I don't give a fuck what you say, bro. Walk up on me like that. Back up now, for real though.
No,
keep
keep
walking
walking.
right here in the goddamn parking lot.
Do the fuck you gotta do, bro.
I will. Back the fuck up on me,
No,
dog.
fuck
For real.
that, bro. Listen, let me tell you something, bro.
Y'all see right there, he got the piece. He got the tool. You know, and which I tell y'all never know what's going to eat, you know, and I'm bad about that. You know, I got, you know, my concealed and carry, but I don't carry like I supposed to because I get too comfortable. But you guys, if y'all especially out there making videos, if y'all making commentary where you might make people upset or you might make people mad and you get big enough to where people notice you, you never know what people are going to do to you. You never know how they're going to run up. You never know what they're going to say because these men, especially these men, have been raised in such a way that they act like a lot of the women. You know, women act like, you see how women are always approaching men and trying to hit them, beat on men because they say stuff that they don't like. Men are starting to act like that, and you seeing this right here. Men are starting to act like women, you know, and you can't say anything to them without offending them. But you know, this is what happens, and this could happen to anybody. But we're gonna keep it going.
Quit the motherfucking jokes, bro.
So I offended you?
You offended me, motherfucker.
Obviously not enough, motherfucker. You ain't lost no weight. Don't walk up on me, dog. Dead ass. Don't let these videos get you shot. You heard what the fuck I said.
Don't do the motherfucking jokes no more,
Like
bro.
I said, don't walk up on me.
Don't do the jokes no
fucking
more,
video,
bro.
bitch.
Don't do the jokes
I
no
tell
more.
you what, I'm finna go do one. Did I do your episode?
Do it and see what happens.
Motherfucker, if I ain't dead, I'm gonna get to it. Don't walk up on me.
Move from here on
Like
out.
I said, don't walk up on me. Don't walk up on me. Come up on this fucking automobile and watch what happens.
Oh, so the video pay for this?
This ain't no god. This ain't no fucking video. This ain't no video.
This video money right here.
Do you see that? He more worried about the money. Look, man, I'm telling you, these folks is crazy out here. Yo, the money that he made on these videos, he asked me to pay for his car. Like, how it go from you talking about fat people to the money you got to pay for this car? This is the people out here, y'all. Y'all got to stay. Y'all got to protect yourselves at all times. I mean that.
I tell you what.
This video money right here. Bro, what's up, dog? Maybe whatever you want it to be, bro. You got to see me, man. From here on out, man, you got to see me.
You ain't got a choice but to see him. He weighed like 800 pounds.
What's up, dog?
From here on out, you got to see me. Oh, it's like that?
What's up, dog? I said get the fuck away from my car.
It's like that. Okay.
Get the fuck away from my car,
You got to play, boy.
You got damn right.
You got to play, boy.
Get the fuck away from my car, dog.
You got to play.
Don't let these fucking videos. Yeah. Don't let these videos get.
I said we playing.
Oh, fair use, by the way. I'm sorry about that.
Fuck
fair
away
use.
from my car, bitch.
Until next time. Until next time, little man.
Yeah. Bro, get the fuck away from my car now.
This ain't 600-pound light. This is 600-pound pressure.
Yeah.
Until next time, little man.
I got Sunday blood pressure, buddy.
You talk now. Next time, little man.
Yeah. You still here?
Now that could have very well turned into something horrific, you know, and I'm glad it didn't. But that is a lesson for y'all, especially if y'all are making content that isn't 100% friendly. You know what I'm saying? I don't make content that is 100% friendly, but it is what it is. But I want people to be able to protect themselves. I want to live in a world where people aren't crying every time somebody makes a joke, or crying every time somebody, you know, says something that offends them, you know, and either not the people, you know, either not caring or doing something about it. If it makes you feel bad, then you need to do something about it. Maybe you need to lose weight. Maybe you need to get in shape, you know. And I'm not saying you need to even do that because somebody even says something, because no matter what size you are, somebody's going to have something to say about you. But that's what people don't understand. We're living in a world where everybody is so sensitive. Like, everybody's acting like sensitive women, and we can't live now. We're saying that as men, we always knew the call of nature, the call of wild. People going to say things to you and say things about you, and if things, you know, crossed a certain line, then that was time to attack. But men are just acting like emotional women now. Y'all see it. But that could have been that is very serious. You never knew what that man could have did. You didn't know what he was capable of. You know, we didn't know what he was capable of, and he could have very well did something to him, and it's very well could have been a different story. But you guys got to do it. You got to taking care of yourself. You got to take protecting yourself seriously, because you don't know everybody's intentions, and you just need to be ready. I suggest everybody can get some kind of license, carry and train and be good at it, because you never know. You guys never know. Same thing for Tom Hanks. I think Tom Hanks, they almost ran his wife over, and he had to cuss him out because people are all up on him. And I say that about the paparazzi too, man. It's paparazzi shouldn't be allowed to get so close to people to where they're actually touching you enough for you to fall over. But that's neither here nor there. I ain't got to worry about it. I'm just Aaron EBM. I'm not Tom Hanks. But on to the tinfoil, commentary. Sorry about that. They don't need that. We don't need to watch that ad. This was interesting. This was very interesting. So
extreme heat wave. And from Progressive Farmer has done its own research into this. They've called out to some of the feedlots, they've called out to farmers in the area, and they've utilized their resources, which I think Progressive Farmer normally has some pretty good resources. Their numbers were estimates of as high as 10,000 head of cattle were killed by this extreme heat wave moving through Kansas. So I wanted to talk about this because there's also been a lot of speculation around what happened with 10,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 head of cattle out in Texas.
now I'm gonna ask y'all, with all this stuff going on, with all the food shortages, with all the lack of supply chain fluidity, with all this stuff going on, with processing plants blowing up, do you believe this was a heat wave, 100 to 110, 111-degree heat that killed, thousands of cattle? Or do you think something else did this? Do you think this was something sinister? Do you think this was a insurance move, or do you believe that they are actually controlling the way that our food is moving through America? Now, you all know things like this. There aren't that many cattle ranchers that do this stuff independently. A lot of them come through major corporations, and they control our food. And if you got control of people's food, you got control of them. You're going to hear people saying that a lot. If you got control of people's food, you got control of them. And it's funny. It's not funny, but at the same time, it is, because we are so caught up in the stuff and continuing to be caught up in stuff like Black China and Kim Kardashian and all that stuff, all this stuff that doesn't impact our day-to-day lives. We are more invested in than knowing what is happening to our own food supply. That's the part where I'm saying that and they know this, and the government knows this, because they know that television is a way to mass indoctrinate a lot of people, to put you guys to sleep, to make you feel comforted. These things, these information, this visual stimulation makes you comforted. The things that you want to see are dopamine rushes as well. It's not just playing a video game. It's not just getting high. You get dopamine rushes from a dopamine rush from watching things that you like to watch. That's why they don't want kids. That's why Steve Jobs didn't want his kids playing on those iPads longer than a certain period of time, because they knew the impacts of having prolonged exposure to this information, to this data, and to this media. And they're doing the same thing to grown adults. But what can you say to a grown adult that everybody hasn't said to them already?
It seems like a very, very high number, even for a heat wave of this magnitude. So I wanted to go through what could have caused this naturally, what some of the suspicions are, or what some of the other theories are, and then I'd like you to tell me down below what you think actually happened. So the theory of the heat wave, we'll start there because that's the kind of the natural elements theory, and there might be a couple other natural theories um, that could pop up in here. But there's also a lot of interesting history with Kansas, including the Department of Homeland Security. So we'll kind of start with the natural theory, the most obvious, the ones that's being reported by the mass media, and that is this heat wave. So the heat wave is elevating temperatures above 100 degrees during the daytime, and they're not really, the temperatures really aren't dropping that much at night. And what happens in that scenario is that the cows, they build up the heat during the day, and normally they're able to get some relief and de-stress at nighttime. In this particular case, they're not able to de-stress much at night because the heat isn't dropping. So that is one theory. But we also know that Florida is a very large cattle state. Texas is a very large cattle state. there are a lot of states with much hotter temperatures than even what we're seeing as this extreme heat wave in Kansas that have not been facing mass cattle deaths. So the heat argument in and of itself seems a little far fetched. Now, this happened in Ulysses, Kansas. It seems to be a rather uh, set area, and I've driven out there before. You know, there are a lot of feedlots in that western side of Kansas. So when we're pinpointing one particular area, and all of these areas have feedlots, and all of these areas have all these cows, it seems a little suspicious on the heat theory in that standpoint. But
Come on, we all know that this if you, especially if you're from the Midwest and you're out west, you know that the heat really didn't kill these cows. There's something else going on with these cows dying like that. And I don't know if they find out. I don't even think they'll tell you. I don't think they'll tell you.
nonetheless, it is possible because the heat temperatures.
Let me see right here. Here's another one. Just got all kind of news. I got all kind of news for y'all tonight. Look at this, baby formula horse production at trouble plant after severe weather. Here again.
Back tonight in this struggle to get baby formula back on the shelves in the U.S. Tonight, that plant at the center of the shortage, Abbott Nutrition's formula plant in Sturgis, Michigan, it's now closed again, this time because of storm-related flooding, just 2 weeks after it reopened. They say it could take weeks now to reopen again. Yet another new setback tonight in this.
There y'all go. There y'all had it. There y'all have it. There y'all have it again. Y'all women were struggling to get baby formula. They're going to still be struggling again. That's what that's what I'm telling y'all, man. That we have got so spoiled. We haven't, and even if we weren't, we haven't been stocking anything. People have been living paycheck to paycheck, or if they ain't been living paycheck to paycheck, they've been out getting BBLs and out doing all the stuff they want to do, but they haven't been stocking up on stuff. They haven't been stocking up. Well, I guarantee they haven't been stocking up water, and you all should be stocking up water if you can't stock up anything else. But baby formula would have been first. If I had a newborn child, I would have been buying extra baby formula from the beginning. And now it looks like we're right back at square one with some of this stuff. But y'all ain't got to listen to me though. I know that y'all don't like this stuff all the time, but it is what somebody got to tell y'all this stuff, man. Somebody got to keep y'all grounded, man. You don't need to hear about the gynocracy all the time. You don't need to hear about divestors all the time, because divestors going to divest. They now see look like some about California bills would make gun owners buy liability insurance when they buy pistols. Man, this stuff is nuts, man. This stuff is nuts. Man, I just don't know. Man, but Juneteenth is coming up. Father's Day is coming up. Juneteenth. I know I'm gonna segue into this. Father's Day is coming. Juneteenth is coming up. You guys need to get out there and do something. Y'all need to watch my video on Juneteenth. We're about an hour in almost. Man, I appreciate you guys coming in here again. I know I had somebody or some people coming in and out, but if you're new to the channel, I am Aaron EBM and you are live in the den. These are Thought and Talk episodes. This is episode 5. Tricks are for kids. And I appreciate you being out here tonight. I appreciate you being out here because you guys have been chilling, doing anything you want to do. But man, you come and support me, so I appreciate it very much so. Very much so. Like I said, Juneteenth is coming. Juneteenth is coming up. It's a holiday that is now a national holiday. You need to watch my episode on Juneteenth that I posted. Just look in my channel and you'll see it. I told you guys that they were going to turn this into some kind of marketing ploy, and they tried to, but that's nor here nor there. And they kind of did us dirty with Juneteenth. They put us in there with Pride Month, and we get overshadowed, and then they throw everything in there together with Pride Month in it, and it just is what it is, man. With that, at this point, I almost rather just celebrate celebrate Juneteenth like we always did, like the Underground Railroad. What's up? People didn't really know about it and just go from there. But now you got now you got people that don't if even if they are racist, now they get off of work and enjoy a black holiday and they not really like black people. But that's the ironic thing about it. You know, oh good old Moneybag Joe, man, with that the National Juneteenth holiday and celebrating everything else on top of it. And enjoy your Father's Day, people. If you don't have if you're not a father, and if you know a father, go out there and show some father some love. Don't go out there and give them no shaving cream. Go out there, man, and do something for him, man. Give him a 5 spot on some gas. Give him make him something to eat. Make his favorite, his favorite food. Give him his favorite snack or his favorite drink. Buy a drink on you. You know what I'm saying? Get him a case of beer, something that he'll appreciate. You know, give him something that'll spark some joy in them, because for these last couple of years, man, it just seemed like it's been, man, battle of the sexes central. And even if you are a father, you still get through in there with all the rest of the people and the rest of the stuff. So man, get out there and actually do something for those fathers. Get out there and actually do something for those fathers. And fathers, if you're out there, do something for yourself. Do some self-care. Take some time for yourself. Play that Call of Duty if you play Call of Duty. Play that NBA live, or not live. I don't play live no more. What's the 2K? NBA 2K. If you like 2K, go out there and play some 2K. Do some stuff for you. Go out there and just enjoy your life, man. Enjoy yourself, because those kids, you gotta grow up fast, and one day they'll be in there, and the next thing they'll be out there on their own. So make sure that you enjoy your time, and then enjoy your time with your kids. And women, if you have a man in your life that is not with you anymore, you have children by that man, don't give that man a hard time. Whatever happened between you and him happened between you and him. Let that stuff go. Let it go. Start anew. Give that man peace. Let that man be in his children's life. He might not always have the money that you think he should have to give you, but at least he is there and he's willing to be in his child's life. There's a lot of men that don't give a damn about being in their child's life, regardless of what you say. And even though y'all didn't make it, think of it as a blessing that he is there and willing to do what he needs to do to be in his child's life. Because regardless of what you say, or regardless of what you think, don't believe these women saying that it doesn't matter. Not that you can't take care of a child by yourself and you can't raise one by yourself. We see women do that all the time. But is that the best thing? Is that the best thing in the best way all the time? We see time after time and again after again and day after day, we look out in the public, in the community, and see and know in your heart that a child's life would be different if he had a good, stable man in his life. Regardless if he was with a woman, if he had a good, or that child had a good man in their life, you would know that child life would be different, and his path would be, or her path would be different. So just don't take it. Just don't be selfish and do what you want to do. Believe and see that that the difference would be made if you make his life easier to be with his children. It's a blessing, regardless if you believe it or not. It's a blessing for that man to be there and be willing. So don't give him a hard time if he's not, if he's being doing the best that he can to be a child's father. Loosen up. If you believe in God, pray to God. God's not you can't be God and fearing God and be a Christian and then turn around and be a hellraiser to the father of your children for no reason. It doesn't make sense. You have to let that stuff go. You have to let that I can do bad all by myself stuff go. It's time out for that. If y'all have kids, it is so imperative that you guys be a 100% cohesive unit, even if you're not together. And if some of you guys out there could be together and y'all can work through your troubled times, and you can work with each other and actually rekindle and become the unit that really needs that child needs to have in their life. But a lot of it takes you being unselfish. A lot of it takes you getting out of your own ways. And a lot of it takes some humility and really some introspection into seeing what's going on into your lives. And it won't happen until you do that. You guys on both sides take accountability. You guys be good people. You guys do the best you can and be the best you can be. And I hope you guys have a great and wonderful weekend, Father's Day weekend, Juneteenth. Be careful, stay healthy, and remember, you guys are the only ones that know your limitations, and limitations are meant to be broken. Until next time, everybody, I am out of here. Peace.